Frank Calder was the president of the NHL for over 25 years. He was the very first president of the league and reigned supreme from 1917 until the day he died in 1943. While in office, following the conclusion of each and every single NHL season, Frank would personally buy a trophy and award it to whoever he decided was the most deserving rookie of that year. A quite classy move by the president of the league. When Frank passed away from a series of heart attacks, the NHL cast a permanent trophy in his honor and amply named it the Calder Memorial Trophy. We've seen legends from Mario Lemieux to Bobby Orr win this coveted hardware. Most recently, the sensational Connor Bedard of the Chicago Blackhawks won it, and my goodness, is that dude Connor Bedard a special talent. Similar to this video about an amazing hockey player, we also have this cool video about Connor Bedard showing up on your screen somewhere. So check it out, would ya? With all of these remarkable players, it starts to beg the question, who has been the best rookie of the year over the past 2 decades? Since the NHL lockout of the 2004 to 2005 season, we've seen some amazingly gifted hockey players like Alexander Ovechkin and Austin Matthews. Both of these phenoms have hoisted the Calder Memorial Trophy, and it was well deserved by both of them. However, the 2019 Rookie of the Year, Cale Makar, is just on another planet, perhaps being from Venus or Neptune, certainly not from Earth, even though his birth certificate states Calgary. We might need some more evidence of that, to be honest. For starters, this guy plays defense, so the fact that he can still average over a point per game while playing defense in his own zone is totally asinine. It's blasphemy, really. It's amazing. During the skills competition in 2022, Cale narrowly lost to McDavid as the fastest skater in the NHL, and in 2024, he hammered down and won the hardest shot with a blistering 102.5 miles per hour shot. It's quite baffling how this young man got so good so fast, showcasing such a rare combination of both speed and power. He is like no other player that we've seen play the game, and that's because most of us watching this are not old enough to have seen Bobby Orr play the game. Cale Makar grew up in Calgary, Alberta, where hockey was a way of life for many. He was practically stick handling and deking with his mini hockey sticks before he even learned to talk and walk. His parents, Gary and Laura Makar, had 2 kids, the second one being Cale's younger brother named Taylor. Together, Taylor and Cale would play hockey for hours upon end. Clearly, the fun and games paid off eventually in a pretty big way. By the time Cale was 14 years old, he was already playing in the Alberta Junior Hockey League for the Brooks Bandits. The hotshot would spend 3 seasons with the Bandits and elevated his game every single year. Cale's playing career began just as many others did. He was a small fish swimming in a big pond contending at the junior level.
In the corner and now along the half court. Oh, beautiful wheel around move. And score!
From early on, it was pretty clear that the Calgary boy was the difference maker. Makar became such a chiseled product that he was selected 4th overall in the 2017 NHL draft by the Colorado Avalanche. Makar already in his life had a big decision to make. Should he turn pro or fulfill his commitment to play collegiate hockey for the University of Massachusetts Amherst? Well, we personally think he made the right decision, as he so often does. Cale was able to turn around a failing Minuteman program and turn them into a national contender. Year 1 wasn't the greatest as a freshman. He totaled just 21 points throughout 34 games. However, year 2 was a totally different story. The budding superstar more than doubled his point total and won the Hobey Baker Award in his sophomore campaign. This is a pretty prestigious award given to the best college hockey player in the nation. Makar tallied up a dazzling 49 points that season with 16 goals and 33 assists. The writing was on the wall at this point after Cale did what he set out to do. He had successfully put the program back on the map for the folks in Amherst, Massachusetts. This stud had one final destination in mind, however, which was, of course, the National Hockey League. The dynamic defenseman decided to turn pro the next year. In 2018, Cale saw limited action and it only came in the playoffs. so technically he was still considered a rookie in the 2019 season. Amazingly, Cale became the first defenseman ever to score a playoff goal in their NHL debut game. And get this, his goal came on his very first shot ever in the league. How appropriate and how cool is that? The following season, the rookie went on to score 50 points in 57 games, which was good enough to take home the Calder Memorial Trophy. Now that is a pretty nice conversation piece to put up on the mantle. And things only got better from there. A Colorado Avalanche injury-plagued 2020 to 2021 season paved the way to an awesome season for Makar. Not only did Cale Makar ink himself a new 6-year deal worth $54 million, but while doing so, he was busy elevating his game to new heights. Makar scored 28 goals that season to go along with 58 assists, for a total of 86 points throughout 77 games. He even led his team with 29 playoff points, en route to the Colorado Avalanche collecting their third Stanley Cup championship in franchise history. Something tells us Makar will be lifting Lord Stanley's Cup once again in the somewhat near future. He became just the third defensive player ever to win the Conn Smythe Trophy and the Norris Trophy in the same year. The other two guys were Bobby Orr, who did it twice, and Nicholas Lidstrom in 2002. That's some pretty good company if I do say so myself. On top of winning the Stanley Cup, Cale made his second All-Star team that same year. This is a distinction he has been nominated for in every single season so far. The superstar insists on setting records at every stop. Makar joined Bobby Orr and Brian Leetch as the only players in NHL history to win the Calder, the Norris, and Conn Smythe trophies. He scored 300 points in just 280 games, one game shy of the fastest person to ever do it, which was number 4, Bobby Orr. The past 2 seasons have ended in playoff disappointment for the Avs and Makar, but number 8 has continued his torrid pace. Cale Makar has maintained an average of over 1 point per game while still shutting down the opposition deep in his own zone. This undersized blue liner simply plays the game the right way, which is evidenced by the fact that he always gets votes for the Lady Byng Memorial Trophy. The Lady Byng Award is given to the player that exhibits the best sportsmanship and conduct while performing at a high standard of play. Although he has yet to win this trophy, we know it's coming, and you should know he has to want that trophy too to add to his shelf of accolades. In the 2022-23 season, Cale netted another 17 goals and dished out 49 assists. With those 66 points, his average time on ice was 26 minutes and 22 seconds, which led the National Hockey League. The Avalanche once again had a lot of issues in the regular season, but actually ended up finishing in first place. They won 51 games and were poised for another strong postseason run. Winning back-to-back ships would have looked really nice on Makar's resume. However, the pesky 8th-seeded Seattle Kraken had other ideas and knocked out the Avalanche after a hard-fought 7-game series. In the 2023-24 season, Makar simply annihilated the competition and leveled up once again. He finished the regular season with 21 goals and 69 assists for a career-high 90 points. The team still had a respectable finish as well with 50 wins that season, a pretty solid number which landed them in third place for the start of the playoffs. The Colorado Avs were able to cruise to victory over the Jets in round 1, but the Dallas Stars aligned and got the better of the Avalanche in the end, winning in 6 games, 4 games to 2. Although the Avs did fall short in the past couple of playoffs, Makar still shined bright every time. He finished both seasons third in voting for the Norris Trophy, so clearly the dude is a perennial frontrunner to finish as the league's best defenseman. EA Sports NHL agrees with our assessment as they made Cale Makar the cover athlete for 2024, a rite of passage for any young player looking to make a name for himself, so kudos to you, Cale. It seems only a matter of time before Cale tops 100 points in a season, and when he does, he's going to be joining some pretty elite company. Ray Bourque, Paul Coffey, and of course, number 4, Bobby Orr are the cream of the crop when it comes to scoring defensemen. we believe that Cale Makar will eventually reach their same threshold. It'll be exciting to watch him flourish as he enters the prime of his hockey career. But only time will tell what the future has in store for Cale Makar. But if the beginning of his career is any sign of things to come, then hold on to your hats. Makar is ready to rumble, and you can find him in an arena near you in the upcoming NHL season. You don't want to miss out on this guy. From all of us, we hope you enjoyed this segment, and please click the like button if you liked the video. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time.